Side podcast. We have Liquid Pennies here. What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good
thank
to
you.
be here.
Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, like I said, this is always weird. We haven't had. This is going to be the first band that we have back since we've paused doing this, basically. But we're back to doing it, and you guys are the perfect people to have, to come talk to us. So.
Perfect people to make it weird.
Perfect people to make it awkward.
Set the bar right out the gate.
But we did write some questions down for you because we have some interest here.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Jaron,
Cool.
take it away, my friend.
So Christian isn't here right now.
Correct.
And
Yes.
but Zoe is. And I was wondering how the start of y'all entering the band and what that was like.
Yeah. As far as like the early,
You take Zoe, I'll take Christian.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
like the new since the last time we've been here, maybe.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, Zoe and I met at a Drain Out show at Cage,
No way.
and
Good scene to meet at.
yeah, and
The first Train Out show.
the first one.
Yeah.
Was it the first
the
one.
Cage show was the first one.
Okay.
Historic.
Yeah.
I did not even know them at the time. Obviously, I didn't even know him. So
Oh, shit.
Which
Yeah.
Nathan that did help record and produce our last album was the sound guy that night, I think, too. Strangely
true.
enough.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's how we met, and then
but yeah, my neighbor at the time. It was kind of a funny story too, because like I almost didn't go. I was supposed to meet up with my friends, but they were late, and then one of my other friends had invited me there, and she knew Dylan, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like I was ready to get out of the house. I'm like ready to go, and then I met him. I knew Dylan actually a bit before then, but it was great. Yeah, and the rest is history. Pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. So then kind of like from there, like kind of started shaping some songs together, kind of with that in mind that could start bringing violin in. And
Yeah. We did a couple like acoustic jams before and stuff, because that's like kind of more what I was used to, but I always wanted to be in a band, and like I never wanted to do like symphony, like as a violin player, like that was never my like route to do symphony. So I like tried to be in a band in high school a bit, but then this was actually my first band.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
It's
this
a really
is,
good fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds
Thank you.
great with y'all.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a dope addition too. Like I feel like the new music that you guys have been doing is just like so different from like the other stuff. It's pretty fucking cool. Like it's awesome.
it's cool to for everybody to have their own perspective coming into it, and that for me is something that it's nice to have a little bit of the weight off, or not feel like one person has to be necessarily doing the songwriting all the time, and there can be like a cohesion. So whenever there's new people coming into the mix, it just can like it invigorates something differently, and the instrument itself kind of lends itself to different sounds that
Yeah.
are
Definitely.
So
Just
is
a
it
bit
you're
more.
saying like as a band now it's kind of more you guys are all kind of writing together rather than just like one songwriter?
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot more collaborative. We
It's a lot of derived parts from jams too.
Right.
Just sitting there feeling it out, and we'll just drop a cell phone in the room and listen back and be like, oh, we really like that part. Let's come back to it.
Okay.
But
take
yeah.
a couple different things, and so
Build it
those
out from
moments
there.
are kind of conceived from just everybody's input in that way. But and then lyric writing and stuff, we are both writing our own lyrics and
And doing harmonies too.
doing
Yeah.
harmonies and
Yeah.
Which sound awesome, by the way.
I
thanks.
love
Yeah, you
doing
guys
harmonies.
too.
Yeah.
You guys kill it on the harmonies as well. Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
you, man. It's about you.
Yeah. I had done just a tiny bit of songwriting in the past, like on my own. So I was glad to kind of like collaborate a little bit on that, like lyrically. And then I love harmonizing, so I just like make all that stuff up too. But it's fun to add like the words in, and then like getting like my own message out there too.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty cool. The first time I think I did it was just like a couple shows ago. I'm like, oh, this is the first time like my words are in it. Like this is cool. I like it. So Yeah.
That's good.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I just turned 25.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're young, dude. That's
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing, like that. This is your first band at 25.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing violin for?
Since I was like 6, so like almost 20 years, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
That's so good.
That's
Yeah.
cool, man. Like
Yeah.
that's really like that's I think that's inspiring. Honestly, it's like never too late. You know, some people might say, oh, you should probably if you're gonna get into a band, do it like at an early age or something. But that's that's like you're literally like defying that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was really helpful. Like, I can read music, and I'm finally feeling actually more confident now that I'm like not in the classical world. I feel more confident reading music, but I always like really heavily relied on my ear. So I actually felt pretty confident like going into like a jam sort of thing. I'm like, okay, I think I could probably do this like in a band, you know, and just kind of make something up. And then over the past couple years, like I've just been more motivated to like learn more on my own. And then I've like just gotten more and more and more confident, and like his musical drive is like so much, it just like influences me. It just like has to, you know.
Yeah.
It just like, so yeah, I've been like learning so much more and like understanding like scales and all that stuff even more than I did before. And now I'm like, okay, got it,
Right.
good. So yeah, it feels pretty good.
Conversely, too, from
Yeah.
an outsider's perspective, not singing in this band, I feel like Zoe coming in vocally, I feel like you really pushed Chaz a lot, too.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, Chaz has always sung, but all of a sudden there was like another drive there, or like another layer built onto what you were doing.
And
vocally early
technique
on in
to
this
it
band.
too, because I
Yeah.
feel like Zoe has a lot of knowledge on like the ergonomics of singing. And
Yeah,
like,
well, because I teach music a bit, so I've taught voice lessons, and like I took voice lessons when I was younger. Like I did some like opera and like musical theater and all that stuff. So that's like just
That's
as much as my instrument as violin
Right.
is. Yeah.
And even things, you know, as far as like the sounds you use for syllables that you're singing and
sounds.
ways to sing those, that
Yeah.
you could say a word in a couple
Yeah.
different ways, but there's
I'm like,
some ways that are more conducive to like getting certain
A
notes
good
or
sound
tones out
out.
of your voice.
Yeah. Or
And-
like
Yes.
something that he wouldn't think of. I'm like, are you saying you're saying like
Right.
it's a little
Yeah.
different. Like
Makes
we
a
got to make
difference.
sure we match that, or else it's gonna
Yes.
sound like we're doing something completely different.
Right, Jaron.
Yeah. It's so
Had to
weird.
take a
You
shot
would
at me.
not think of that if you just didn't like know. Like, yeah.
No, you're right
Yeah.
though. Yeah, that's back when Kenny was in the band, we did that as well. We went to vocal lessons, and
Okay, yeah.
it blew my fucking mind how intricate that shit was. But
Mm-hmm.
it does. It makes like it makes it so perfect, like when you're singing live. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And I actually now that you say that too, like I could hear it in your voice too from like the last performance that I saw live. I could tell. You know what I mean? Like the
Thanks,
pronunciation was better. Like it just sounded
Yeah.
better. So
Also I got like a better setup for my, you know, my mic, and got a vocal pedal and stuff. So I feel like I've just got a clearer signal where, you know, I think it was a little bit more intentional to be abstract with the vocals before, or yeah.
More
So-
aggressive, it felt.
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, which I mean that'll probably make its way back in with the music.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll reel
I'm
some
okay with
aggression
that.
back.
Yeah.
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 It's peaking its
Yeah,
head
it's
out
always
right
it's
now.
always a bit part of it. I think the violin and just my voice, it's just a softer element. So like
Yeah.
you can't, you know, if he's gonna scream, like I'm backing away from the mic.
Right,
Like that's
right.
his
The
moment, you know.
Yeah.
I love that though,
So-
because I felt like that's what I was kind of like referring to. Like the new music is like super melodic, but it still has like a lot of that old stuff that you guys, you know, it's got that vibe of like the kind of heavier stuff. I think it's beautiful,
Yeah.
honestly.
Thanks,
it's
man.
really cool, man.
It's
So
fun to jump around a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mix it up, not keep all the songs the same.
of course, definitely.
Secret Dash is a banger.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Song
fun.
numero uno.
Was that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
we just like popped it. Yeah,
We
popped it
wrote
out.
that, and
We stop for a quick photo.
Stop for a photo.
glitch in the matrix. But yeah, wrote it on wrote it on the beach on a acoustic guitar.
man, that's
went
perfect.
home, it was before I had a roommate, so I had a whole room open. I just put my 4-track in there, and I was messing around with the looper and doing some stuff in there, and then I kind of came up with a song. Used my Casio keyboard for the drum machine, recorded the guitar, vocals, like keyboards on it. And Zoe came over, did her vocals, violin, bass, and then threw the drums on it. But it was like within like a week, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like we had the whole thing done.
And then the
Damn.
music video, that was back, like afterwards too.
Well,
right?
the music video I was shooting the whole time we were recording it
Right,
too
right,
in that
yeah.
room, from that same spot in the room, and then we did a couple like things over the top, but it was all kind of filmed while we were
Right,
recording
yeah.
it too.
And I feel like my bass tape was like a day or two after I had heard it for the first
Right.
time. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, we're
basically
just like,
start
we're
as a
getting this
demo,
one
and
out.
then we layered it up, and then we're
And
like,
the
all right,
drums
let's just,
too,
do this with
within
it.
I think maybe JJ heard it that day, and then he just tracked the along to the Casio drum machine or whatever.
So it was
But-
very like intuition based,
yeah,
It
without
wasn't,
a
like,
doubt. Yeah.
methodical, or
And that's what I was
meditative.
kind of wanting to try and do, the opposite of from the approach that we have typically had, which is very methodical in a lot of ways. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Like, so, and we're hoping to do more stuff like that with what we're about to do as well, is just like try and track as much stuff as we can live, and then not do a whole lot of overdubs, get it, maybe even get a vocal take on some of these songs live with the whole band too, and kind of have it be as organic as possible.
that was my next question, was about the new stuff. You don't got to spill all the beans.
We didn't even finish question number 1.
yeah. Let's
I
talk
was
about
trying
Kristen,
to segue
yeah.
there. That
Yeah,
was
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Alright.
save it
The
then.
segue is that
You're right. Yeah, let's put a pin in that and then go to Kristen, actually.
Yeah, so Christian Tovar, drummer extraordinaire. So we just found ourselves, buddy JJ, kind of wanting different things. And Christian was just a friend that was kind of in the back pocket. He was playing in a band called Wrecked States, who we played like our last handful of shows with right before, things kind of went silent for a little while and went off the grid. And Christian was like a kid I'd just known, through the years. I'm pretty sure I'd met him at the Fest in Danesville. I used to be a regular and go pretty much every year, and Christian was the same, and he was always like, the kid drinking beers out of shoes.
Knew you were going to
at
go for the
Fest.
beer out of the shoe story right
I
there.
mean, you
That was
can't. It's not a Christian origin
not do it.
story without touching on shoeies and stuff.
That's some shoe experience going on.
But yeah, so
we'd
I'd
like
just
to do that right now, everybody.
known
If you're
Christian
just
from
true.
a distance for years and years. And then he started this band Wreck States about a year after Pennies started, and it was just a good sound. We got to play their first show with them. There was some crossover from old punk rock stuff back in the day, how I knew their band.
Right.
But
Yeah, we played up in Tallahassee and Orlando. We did a little mini Florida tour with them.
yeah,
Right before, it was February of 2020, so right before everything kind
Right
of
before.
closed.
Hell
and
of a
their
drummer.
singer.
Yeah.
What?
Hell of a drummer.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
was
his
he was great.
improvement just over the past, because he's been playing in his thing, movie props with Ricky, that they've just been after it like nonstop. Like, he's just been playing drums so much that he's just gotten. I mean, it's almost like when you,
Well,
The
it's
kid's
the
a
thing,
machine.
Well, that
yeah, I don't
mean,
even
he
know how to
got
describe
started
it.
late.
The progress where you're just like, holy shit, like, yeah.
Yeah, basically what Chaz is starting to say is, and even Christian said it himself, he's been a fair weather drummer for years and years and years. Since he was a teenager, he kind of played here and there, but never in bands, never seriously. But over the last 3 or 4 years, he was just saying he's really gone at it. And he was started with Wreck States 3 years ago. And where he was with, Wreck State's first couple of shows, I saw Wreck State's a year later, and the drums were just there. He had really locked in, and he's just gone up and up. And
Even
up
from there to now,
It's
too, and
gnarly.
because that's what I've seen. Just
Chaz touched on
wild
movie
progress.
props. He's playing on in this two-piece
Yeah, I've seen
band.
them.
It's him on drums. Our buddy Ricky, another guy I've known for years and years and years, just going way back, plays like a Wurlitzer through an amalgamation of pedals, and it's gnarly. It's dynamic as hell, and just gets as
he's
heavy
got
as
like
you could
3
want it
or
to
4
be.
keyboards, I
And
think. Does the
yeah,
bass
he's got a
and the
Wurlitzer
lead
here.
at the same
That's
time.
dope.
I
Yeah.
want to say maybe like a harmony something or other, and then he's got the microchord
like
up
an electric
on top
piano kind of thing. And,
yeah. Just kind of stacking them.
That's dope.
Running it through a handful of pedals, and it's cool. Dynamic as could be. Time signature shifts out the wazoo.
Right.
And it's just drums and keys. Ricky singing through like 3 or 4 PV amps, just all kind of, some keyboards are going to some of them, and he's like, I never spend more than $100 on an amp, so everything I have is old and heavy and works.
Damn. Yeah, I will say, man, Christian his stamina is insane, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Especially like playing the stuff that you guys do.
Yeah.
Like,
That man
And-
mows lawns 6 days a week, owns
and
his own,
drives
landscaping
up
company,
from
and then drives
Englewood.
120 miles each way to make it to practice.
I'm
Slash
just
shows.
like, I admire that kind of drive
yeah,
to do
well,
it.
he
Yeah.
cares, obviously.
Dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like loyalty.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
dope,
so
man.
That's pretty sick.
I'm glad you found that. Honestly, that's awesome.
We're
Diamond
stoked
in the
to
rough
Yeah.
for sure.
Be, still, not really miss a beat and be able to, it just really great to be able to play shows again. I was like just wanting to do that for, over a year, and it's just been cool to be able to finally get back out there and see
As
so
soon
many
as
people.
shows could be a thing again, he was just ready to kind of step up and learn the songs real quick. And
Like
I
2
think his
months.
first practice was like 2 months before first show
Yeah.
back.
So
Oh,
just
wow.
had like two practices in a row each
guys
week.
were
We're
there.
just like going
Ben's
hard,
show.
learning.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
Yeah.
That was the first show back.
Actually, I think
first
the
show
New
back.
World show was the 2-month mark. I think the Ben's might have been less than 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It
you
was
guys
crazy,
sound
yeah.
great, man.
But just
That was a great show. That was so fun. That night was awesome.
that was
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
y'all killed it too.
Loved
That-
I like that footage you got too. That turned out really well for you.
yeah, yeah.
Who was that that shot that?
This dude Matthew, that just kind of he drove out from the East Coast and filmed the show, and
Like
Random.
Space Coast area? Melbourne, Coco?
I'm
or
not
something?
sure. I can't remember. Where
St. Augustine. No, I'm just
Yeah, sure.
throwing it out there.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
Everglades.
I don't even know if he told me. He might have just said East Coast from parts
Fair
unknown.
enough.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, didn't want me to pay him. I'm like, just can you take a shirt at least? Like, like, like refused to. Like, I'm like, what? We'd talked to him about doing a drone. I wanted to do a drone shot, and he was a drone camera dude, but he also just films and takes pictures and stuff. So.
That would be tight. So like a drone shot for like a music video or for like a live performance.
Yeah, or
Chaz
both.
has this vision that he wants a drone shot to come into a show. Like we're talking about flying it.
This is copyrighted in time.
Yeah.
Might be
No one
confidential.
can
I'm
take
leaking
this.
stuff. Okay, we're gonna cut it there. Transition. Question 2. Are we on question 2 yet?
How's the process changed for the new album?
It's House
And
of
you-
I. We can leak some stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. That's all they get though.
And you don't gotta spill the beans with the new album either. I just
like,
but-
so I think the way said we're gonna try and just like be tracking as much stuff live as possible, and we have like 4 songs that we've been playing at these shows that we want to record, and then we've come up with a few new ones since then, like brand new ones. So again,
Yeah.
just kind of
Pulling
like
back one way, old one.
yeah,
That's never
one
been
older one.
recorded.
Yeah.
oh, cool.
That was
Yeah.
the first song I learned with you guys.
Yeah, and that was like one of our one of our early songs. Like we made a music video for it, and that's how Dylan actually found out about our band when we were starting. So Angle is that song, but most of the stuff is like pretty much been written in the everything else has been written in the past year. And then
Okay.
a couple of songs in the past like month.
Are
So
you
and
taking
then
like any kind of stylistic change or going a new direction at all? Or you think you're gonna
For
like
sure,
try to
yeah.
refine some?
yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit more of a concise, more song-based thing than
Okay.
kind of the like lengthy compositions or the last thing we did was a little bit more spaced out, and I think this is a little bit more
I'd say more concise songs, but a more diverse album.
Right.
more of them and more kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just kind of
Yeah.
have fun with some different styles. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So trying
love
to just
that.
switch it up a
Come at
little
it
bit.
with our own
yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
good.
And then hopefully we'll be able to incorporate some of these improvisations and jams we've been doing and have a few of those things just kind of, you know, it'll
Stitched
be,
throughout.
yeah, nice to have everything kind of just set up that we can, you know, if we hit on something, it'll just be recorded and
I was really into how Distant Dawn had those long songs. I wouldn't say that was a fault at all. I thought it was cool that y'all had the courage to just like do that. You know,
Yeah.
10-minute songs.
Thanks, man.
They're long, but they're also kind of ever transitioning
Yeah.
songs too, which is cool. It's not like it's harping on the same part for
Yeah.
10 minutes. It's like a 3-minute trunk and then like a transition, and it's
Right.
like Act 2.
No, it was an
You know.
experience for sure.
Yeah, is that
to it.
difficult to like play? Like I would imagine like you have to have a pretty
played
good memory.
those songs
Yes.
live
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Well,
And
It's difficult to practice because when you're 7-8 minutes into a song and you really fucked it up, and it's like, all right, let's take it from the top, and you're like, are
or
you
recording
kidding
for
me
that
right now?
matter.
well,
Yeah,
I'll,
Yeah,
because
well,
I
I'd
would
say
also
way.
have like the ethos of not like trying to punch in for takes.
We did
like
stuff
trying
on
to-
tape
Oh, so doing-
too, where
all
you
the way
can't really
through.
do
No
that
fucking
recording
way.
onto tape.
Yeah, so you know, no punching in for parts. Like, let's just get it one take all the way.
Oh,
through.
wow,
Yeah, you
the
want
whole
it-
rhythm
Even if
section.
Yes.
you mess up this part a little bit, it's
You want
more
it as
natural.
organic as
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Damn,
You'd
you guys
rather
are fucking
compromise a
crazy,
little bit
bro.
here to-
I mean,
love
we
it.
it's not, yeah, we've
I love it.
That's there's definitely punch-ins here and
Yeah.
there.
Not
but,
for
you know,
drums,
for the
though.
most
but
part.
not too. Yeah,
drums
not too
are
much.
that, and that's what it is. The drum take and then
Bass too, Distant Dawn, like drums and bass. While we
Yeah.
recorded
And rhythm
as,
guitar.
we did one live tracking day, so drums and bass are day one of that album, and the room guitar, and then kind of overdubs from there.
I've always
Yeah.
found that the easiest to start with the guitars. And
Mhm.
everything on top.
Yeah.
yeah, especially trying to find where the vocals are gonna come into everything too, because there's a lot of similarities where they're falling in the same range too.
I imagine you two are writing songs like more with this next one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've have we
I think.
Yeah.
It's like blurred because like
well,
yeah.
I mean, some of them are ones that we've written,
A wave
not
file, like
more recently, but yeah, that will be on there. That
Yeah. A couple of the newest ones though, he just like poofed out of his mind really quick. So yeah. He's very good at doing that. It's like
it's a blessing.
here's
when
a
it
song.
comes.
Yeah,
like,
you can like
it's
take a
suddenly,
week
I'm
off
like,
of
oh, yeah.
practice, and Chaz is like, "Here's 3 songs."
Yeah, I just wrote some
kinda wrote.
3 new songs. Like,
We're like,
yeah.
oh,
Oh, okay, all right.
Prolific
Yeah.
writer. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I mean, if there's something like this where we're like, all right, we've got 4 or 5 songs, like, but kind of want to do an album, just like, might as well. And then knowing everybody pretty well and like knowing what we kind of like doing, and that's what it is, just figuring out what people, how they like working and how they like writing and how involved they want to be in that process too, because it's like I'm not trying to like be the sole person doing that necessarily, but
Yeah.
at the same time I
Yeah.
want to do it all the time, so
I would say we usually, at least I do, like come up with my own part. At least like he has like
Right.
the basis and the structure and stuff, and then he's like, oh, kind of like this, and then maybe just has some ideas of like, oh, it would be cool if you like did exactly what I was doing here for just like this part, and then like I'll just come up with other random
Right.
things.
which
like,
is
That's
cool
awesome.
because she's so knowledgeable with music that I can just be like, hey, this is in A major right here, and then it's gonna do this chromatic walk down here, and then she knows what I'm kind of talking about.
I know
Yeah.
what he's talking
Yeah.
about vaguely, and then I just
Giving
like
away our
listen
bread
really
and
hard.
butter. Dramatic walkdowns.
Yeah.
Where are you pulling from? Like, what inspirations are you pulling from when like, for example, if Chaz writes something, like, do you pull from like bands or are you pulling from like something more traditional?
I don't really know. I feel like I don't know if I'm like pulling from anything in particular.
Mhm.
Honestly, probably just all the things that I've gotten in my brain
Right.
throughout the years. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I just kind of like flow with it, and just like, all right, what's gonna fit, and just like listen.
Take
to it.
chances, and if it doesn't work, you like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and pulling from diverse like musical backgrounds too is
Right.
fun. You know,
Yeah.
Zoe's got her influences. Chaz was like the ever eclectic musician. Myself, JJ, our old drummer, and Christian for that matter, we're all like punk
Yeah.
rockers.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Chaz in his early days, but Chaz opened us
Yeah.
up to a lot of different stuff, and
Yeah.
having those different influences kind of come together is
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes it sound cool.
Yeah. And
She's like, get closer.
closer. Oh, I thought you were telling me I'm too loud.
No.
Usually that's the case.
The contrary.
Here we go.
yeah, now like more recently too, I've been like pretty much this past year teaching myself folk style violin. So I've been like really going ham into that and learning all these techniques, and I feel like I've just been getting better and better at like coming up with more things and like feeling more confident to do more like complicated things and like think of more things like that. So I'm sure, yeah, definitely the folk style is like definitely influencing me a bit now. I do like more like slides and more like double stop switches, like 2 strings at once, and I feel a lot more confident with like doing that, which is really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
You just
So-
did the blueberry patch with your friend.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
Who's that?
So her name is Lou, and we're tentatively calling ourselves the She Shanties, just because we were like joking about like we have a couple sea shanties in our set, and she's like, they're really big right now. We got to do. I'm like, okay, sure. Like I'm down.
Stephen Colbert's about it. Let's do she.
They're like apparently on TikTok. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, so but she's like, they're big right now. So yeah, we're just like kind of joking about that, and just like, oh,
Okay.
wouldn't that be funny? She shanties, haha.
So it's kind of casual. with
So
her.
yeah, so
Yeah.
for the moment, yeah, but yeah, we did a couple of them open mics and stuff, and like we got some attention. I think like there's a couple people who are like, where can we see you again? So we're gonna try and like keep doing
She
stuff.
Shanties 2022.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
yeah. Come catch us.
Come to a town near you.
Yeah, yeah. So
Dan. Good
yeah,
assist.
that's exciting because like that's something I haven't like forayed into that much. Yeah, and there might be another person who I might be able to like harmonize with, another lady. So yeah, so I'm
Nice.
excited about that too because yeah, it's just fun. It's a totally different thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like
That's good though. I feel like
yeah.
it's good to do as many as you can without getting stressed out.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Like your solo thing too.
I think like
is
2 is
important.
good.
Yeah,
Well, right,
finding
right.
that balance is fun sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
It
like,
is.
like 2 is good, and then yeah, solo. Yeah, I still like. I'm almost done recording my own song too, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
I'd say go for it.
So yeah, because I like having the folk style, and then like some of the stuff I write is more like neo soul style, which I
Oh,
really
okay.
like. Those are like kind of my 2 biggest genres I listen to the most.
Okay.
But then the rock stuff is just fun too. Like you can't
Yeah.
like
That
you
scene
know.
is so
It's
much
different.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely
It's like we
different.
all have, and I love
Yeah.
doing like electronic and like ambient kind of music
Mhm.
too. Which I can kind of work that into our stuff. But
Shout out
it's-
Oxtail.
yeah,
Yeah.
or
I
like
didn't know if that was you or not for the longest time. I
Yeah.
was like, the hair looks
He's
like
very
you. but-
mysterious.
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
oxtail,
which
yeah.
was the last time I grew my hair out. so it's
AUXTALE band.
My hair's finally, I think, past that length now,
Yeah.
but that was from years before. But yeah, no, I mean, or acoustic stuff too is like its own
Mhm.
thing too,
Right.
and that's
Yeah, we
another
had
thing
done
too
some
that
stuff, too.
been wanting to do more stuff like that. Just yeah.
No
big-
acoustic liquid pennies coming.
I mean, it could, yeah. That'd be,
We-
yeah.
Chaz, you give this man a beat old nylon string guitar and a sunset on a beach, and he will entertain you for hours. I swear.
Let's go,
Pull out
dude.
some jazz
Let's go.
staples, and yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Serenade me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. What's going on, dude? Serotonin
Yeah, well,
out
maybe we
here.
can come over here and do some acoustic songs at some point.
That would be
you
dope,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe one of these next times we'll do like a. Yeah, that's something I definitely think some of our stuff does lay itself to that. But,
I would
That'd
love
be
dude,
fun,
that would
like
be
a
amazing.
nobody plugged in jam. You know, find something, whatever.
Yeah.
That would be sick, man. Yeah. I was gonna say too, cause it's funny that you bring up like the solo stuff. Like I feel like I've never felt that like to do something different. Like whenever I've written something, it's always been like, oh, it's like the band. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've never been like, oh, this
Yeah.
is the band thing. But this solo stuff,
Right.
It's
Yeah.
always turned
Yeah.
into the band
For
stuff.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's his thing more. Cause like, well, for me, like I wasn't in a band for a while, so like I was just trying to do my own little thing. Like maybe I'll like play open mic sometime. We'll see. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like just kind of writing for myself and stuff.
Right.
But
What's cool with the solo stuff is you can go outside of the constraints of a band
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You can
Be
be like,
cathartic.
hey, here's a sound my band can't quite pull off.
Right.
You know, or lean more into ambient instruments or electric instrumentation or drum machines or
Right.
something to
For the saw.
yeah,
Singing
whatever
saw.
it takes,
Yeah.
you know.
mouth harp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's fun. You know, you can contact like a bunch of glasses and
watching a
stuff and
lot of
start
weird
flicking them, you know, or MIDI keyboard this, MIDI keyboard
Right.
that, and you know, build it out that way.
Right.
So that's kind of cool too, and that can morph into band stuff, but you can also make very different iterations that
Yeah.
you know your band wouldn't
Yeah.
sound like.
I guess like I think maybe into the way that music is released nowadays, it's like mainly singles. It's not how it was back in the day where like if you were to put an album together, like a lot of that like solo stuff might turn into like just like a kind of like one of those songs in the album where it's you by yourself kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And I'm a big proponent of that. Like I love those
Yeah.
kind of things. So
Yeah.
like I probably will, if you know, whenever we release albums, I'll always want that thing of like maybe just like acoustic guitar or just
Right.
like you know
Yeah.
keys and vocals and that's
I
it.
just want every time you guys to release an album, a video of you coming out of a refrigerator.
You like
that
that?
was this one right
I
here.
love that. Hell yeah.
That was a really cool video. I really like the animation in that video.
That was him, man.
really
He
cool.
directed the
Yeah,
whole thing,
so
dude.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it keeps just getting weirder and weirder, and then like it reminds me of like there's that Tame Impala video that's like that too, where it's like halfway through it just gets animated, like everything's in like real, like it's real footage, and then like all of a sudden it's just
Yeah.
You
flashes
come up.
and animate, yeah, and just yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to make too.
yeah, it's
It
so
was.
fun to do that.
Just a bunch of
stuff.
buddies around.
Yeah.
Nobody, no like deadline or anything. We just
Mhm.
got
Right.
it done in a night.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, while drinking,
That's
you know,
awesome.
having a good time.
Yeah.
We were talking our recording process, but yeah, we're kind of taking it back into our own hands, not to segue back to that. But you know, now that we're miking up our own garage, it's kind of fun to have things on your own terms. You know,
Yeah.
different songs, we can do different mic configurations
Why
and get
not?
weird with it, get
Yeah.
experimental, like, hey, this would sound really cool this way. Yeah,
Right.
this sound would sound really cool this way.
Yeah, for sure, of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
multiple attempts over multiple days too. Like I like
It's
that
something you
idea
can't
as
pull
well.
off in a studio without, you know, some deep pockets.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I want to I want to do that here. I want to have like a professional grade studio so that we don't have to ever worry. I mean, you know, whatever. We're not really worried about that right now anyway, but
You do it just
obviously,
fine.
yeah, yeah. It's like obviously, you know, the more equipment that I have in here, like the more fun we can have fucking around. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, like that's what I want to fucking do. But, all right, let me.
Yeah, your turn, bud.
Question 3.
Okay, so this is actually a question that I really wanted to ask you guys. I just kind of wanted to see what you thought about this. So, do you think the traditional structure of a band where the founding members stay together still exists today?
Oh. Yeah. I mean, Radiohead.
Right, but I mean like us for like like we're like bands like us that are not like famous. Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
that's a traditional band in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah.
But I feel like modern bands like us, for example, like I
Uh-huh.
feel like it's not as much of a thing.
Yeah.
That's my opinion at least, but I was kind of curious what you guys think about
It's
that.
not as much of a thing that the band stays together with all the original members. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm
right?
asking, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you
I have
think?
some pretty decent thoughts on it too. I mean, a band of, you know, let's just broadly say our caliber, you know, it's fun, and in an ideal world it'd be fun as like, hey, we're these humans, we're playing this music, let's do this forever. But you know, at our caliber where it isn't paying our bills,
Mhm.
it isn't, you know, this, it isn't that, it can be hard because people have obligations, people have, you
Right.
know, extra jobs, people have kids, people have wives, people have, you know, this, that, the other, that can just take it out of it, and it can be so much fun for so long and be something, you know, half the band wants to sink themselves into harder and half the band just doesn't quite have that commitment level.
Right.
So, you know, it's different when you're touring and selling out stadiums and, you know, making a steady living and have nice cars in your driveway from
Right.
the instruments you play.
So what would you say is a difference then from now to back then? Or do you think it's always been like this?
I think it's always kind of been like that. Yeah. I mean, because I mean, there's probably less of a thought of the possibility longer ago, where I feel like it's maybe more of a seemingly attainable thing now for artists and bands to feel like they can take the reins and not have to get signed to a label or so a lot of people are doing. There's so many bands, there's so many albums that come out every day and songs that come out every day.
It's true.
That
A lot of trash though. Too.
yeah, exactly.
No
And
offense, but fucking
talk
A.
about the original members thing too. Radiohead's an outlier, but a lot of bands and a lot of lineups you think of classic lineups. You look back,
were enhanced.
and in the first iterations, it's like, oh yeah, they switched out this bass player or this drummer early on, and the person that carried that band, it's like by that point that band had success. And that band went on
Right.
with that lineup because it was making them a living.
I see what you're saying.
It's like a
their
brand
everything.
or
But yeah, there's like
That takes
plenty
some
of people that
time,
were,
maybe.
flicked off in the early years of like big bands, and
Right.
then, another member went on to be like the member
Right.
of that
and
band.
just own
So,
everything.
I think that's kind of what happens. Like in this
Yeah.
phase, it's like you find who you need to be stronger and better and, take your band to the next level. And that could be what's taken off.
Yeah.
So from the outside looking in, it may just be like, hey, I remember these names in this band.
Right.
But there's definitely some, early casualties along the way to sculpt that band into what it was.
And it's funny because you're right in a sense. Because actually, I think there's a lot that you're saying that is right. But most bands don't really talk about that. In interviews, people don't go like, "Oh, so what was the first the first grouping of this
Yeah,
band?"
it's
You know what I
funny
mean?
When you look it up and you're like, oh man, like this member of this band I loved. I thought they were probably an original, and they came in like 7
What
years
about
into that band.
like
being
the
it.
Black Eyed Peas? Like before they had Fergie, they had a different woman that was like singing.
I didn't know.
Did
that.
I tell you I
nobody
worked
knows
at a
about her because but she was with them like right until they fucking like blew up with the with their
Fergalicious?
no,
No, okay.
their big song let's get it started.
yeah.
And right before that came out, I think she was with them right until that point, and then but nobody knows and then as soon as Fergie came in, for if that's coincidental or not,
So this is an
nobody knows about that.
off-camera story because I'm not going down this wormhole right now. But I worked at a pyramid scheme in Largo for a week and a half before I quit, and the guy that trained me in, I think I've told you this, it was his first job at 38 years old because he was riding solely off of writer's credits on Black Eyed Peas albums. He went to high school with him. I found this guy's discogs. I thought he was full of shit entirely. He wrote all of the lyrics on Ella Funk and everything like that.
So he was rich,
Wow.
basically.
Yeah, until 20 years later when the Black Eyed Peas royalties weren't bringing in, money as much, and he had to hustle,
Holy
kitchen
shit.
cabinet refacings in Home Depot.
What the
Dang.
fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
We're not going into that story. Question 4. I just thought it was a funny little.
Damn, that's wild. All right. So, what genre or era of music do you think will have a resurgence?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty
Screamo.
yeah, I hope
say
so.
it.
Ooh,
It's coming
Screamo?
back.
Yeah.
One
I feel
thing.
like.
Go for it, Zoe.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I feel like I listen to a lot of different types of music, but I feel like I maybe don't have a broad enough range. I could be like, oh well, I hope this does, or from my perspective for what I listen to.
Right.
I think maybe this is, but that's probably just what I'm listening to.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to a lot of Irish women, so
Okay.
Irish
that's
women,
probably
2022.
probably not
Another Sinead O'Connor coming.
That's not even like a genre. That's just people.
Daniel,
Irish
do you
duo,
not listen to
female
Irish women?
duos, female duo
Like
trios.
Celtic kind of music. sort of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, like
Okay.
modern Irish singer-songwriters, but
Hosier,
that's
but
definitely
more
like
female.
my thing that's
Okay.
probably not representative of the whole.
I hope there's a resurgence.
Yeah.
Was there ever a surgery?
Or yeah, it was like
There's going to be an original surgeon. So
first wave.
yes, first wave.
Original
Yes,
surgeon.
yes.
That would
be
be
funny.
like an Irish Bjork.
Let's just say women, like women, coming to the forefront.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely happening though, for sure. Like right
Yeah.
now, you know, like there's I don't, you guys have heard of Crumb, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys heard of Alaska?
No.
Dude, you gotta fucking listen to some Alaska.
right,
They're
we'll be on it.
amazing. But they're both, they're both female-fronted bands, and they're fucking amazing. I mean, Crumb they're getting pretty big right
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Like
So-
Sylvan Esso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
I was gonna say Mountain Man, the other band that person's in.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I've heard them.
There's like a trio of just like a cappella singers. So
That's
good.
cool.
So beautiful.
That's awesome.
See, well, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. In my opinion, like I feel like right now we're in a period of, it's like a mixture of like 60s and 80s. I feel like
The synths are coming back. In
yes,
A big way.
right. So I feel like we're going through like this period of like the 80s are back, like even like the pop artists, like what's his face, The Weeknd, like his like hit song was like that's a throwback, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a
For
throwback
sure.
to the 80s.
It's hitting
you
that
know?
80s nostalgia, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like there's gonna be something else coming like afterwards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my take on new music that I think is pretty cool. I mean, the last 2 years have been like a different shift in everything, but I saw that Fender sold more guitars in 2020 than they ever have in their history.
I saw that too, yeah.
And like instrument sales have been out through the ass. A lot of people have been sitting in their homes, and like I know myself, I've tried to ramp up like my home recording game and learn that, because now it's time spent in a house. And so I think you're having a lot more musicians hit the scene and have more ready access. I don't know where that's going to take genres, but I think you're going to have talked about optional paralysis with the music that's out there nowadays. I think it's just going to be more releases and more people trying to put their name out there, and I really think that'll breed a whole new genre of music, because all these people that might have not had studio access back in the day, or this, that, or the other, now have the means with a couple microphones and a laptop to put something out there.
That's definitely the positive of like technology. The
Yeah.
downside to it is
Yeah.
how many people
Well,
are
the
doing
positive
it.
technology, but it's also
and do
cool
people
that
have a reason for it?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And they like the drive behind it, rather than just the fact that you're. I don't know. I think
but also
good
cool
songs.
that guitars are selling more.
Yeah.
Wood and metal.
Right.
Like that is making a comeback. The numbers are there. So, while that kind of music may have been suffering in the last, at least on a big scale side of things, however many years,
Yeah. That's
who knows what'll
optimistic.
come back.
I like that view because I would see it. I see that as that's a good thing, but I also see it as like there's a lot of saturation. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
like harder for like bands like ourselves to like kind of get out there, to get more eyes on us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because there's gonna be a lot of people
Yeah,
doing
smaller fish in a bigger
Yeah.
pond.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
You're good.
something
Very good.
I noticed, and this is like not maybe a resurgence, but just like starting to happen more and more, is like a Latin influence and like Latin beats I've been noticing in like just normal pop songs.
Yeah.
Like, and I started to notice, even some of the like, the lyrics, or where it's like half that, but then like some like people who are not Latin are just like having that like beat and that vibe to it, which I really like.
bilingual rapping too. I feel
Yeah.
like that's become a little bit more.
Which is cool. I feel
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. I like that. That's kind of starting to be part of it, because I used to just listen to Spanish radio and
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah, just for fun, because I like the beat but I got like sick of listening to like degrading lyrics, so I'm just like, I don't understand this. I could just listen.
They're just as bad.
Just listen. No, I know they are, but I'm just like, I could just listen to the beat. This is good.
Yeah.
I do like that too, because
Yeah.
like our background, Ellie and I are both Hispanic, and we haven't really done too much music in Spanish, but I want to start doing it more and more, because I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like it's
Get on that trend.
yeah, for
Or
sure.
even
Whoa.
bilingual songs, you know, hit
Yeah.
those choruses in English
Yeah.
but verses in Spanish,
Exactly.
or vice versa.
And then
Yeah.
it can reach more people too. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Or
So.
do the same song in, people did that, have done that
That's
a lot. Like,
true.
there's some good, like, I don't
Same
know if you
song
heard,
in
like,
different styles.
David Bowie's Heroes
Switch
in
the
like
language, but also
German.
switch the
Or
I haven't
like,
even
there-
thought of that.
There's a lot of artists from back in the day that did like multiple language versions of their songs and just sang them. The actual
Right.
artists, like, yeah,
That's a good idea.
Yeah. this crossover,
I like that.
or like, yeah. There's some, yeah. Trying to think of some of the other people that did it. I want to say Elvis probably did it too. He
Yeah,
probably-
the
I think-
Beatles,
yeah,
you know.
Beatles definitely
Yeah.
had a.
Always
Yeah.
French,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
They're
German.
huge
yeah.
in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's see like that. Well, I was gonna say that I feel like that's not super common now, but that I feel like in a sense that was also their way of going like, well, we have a huge audience there, so let's kind of pander to that
Yeah.
audience
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
writing the song in their
Mhm.
language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of I feel like countries that don't speak English, they listen to a lot of English music. You know what I mean? And they might not even know what people are saying, but they just know the words, which
It's
is
so funny
Yeah.
too when you travel, because you'll realize like different places, like different things. Like I was in Peru and I swear I heard nothing but like 80s pop music. It
Really?
was like Boy George out the ass.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
I know, but it's like what every restaurant, every shop, it was like what you would have heard on the radio in
Right.
1980s in America. That's just like what was popular and what was always playing there.
It's kind of funny to think that in a different country, like the music is like behind.
Yeah,
like they're
And,
always
not
catching
that it was
up.
behind, but that was just like what is popular,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it was bizarre to hear all these songs in English.
That's
But,
cool.
Like I also love French music too, kind of for the reason that I like the way it's done. There's a lot of really cool French bands that have a lot of really cool stuff going right now.
And French hip hop too, and rap.
But you can also drone out on those lyrics, and it becomes more of like an instrument because, you know, I don't speak French. I'm,
Right.
You know, whatever. But so I'm not trying to pick up on the lyrics. I'm not trying to get that
It's
musical
just the
depth
sound.
out of it. Yeah, it is just the harmonies and how it lays in with the music. It is more of an instrument at that point.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool about listening to foreign bands.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's kind of like too their phrasing is obviously different because of their language. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So that can kind of give you like ideas for different melodies and stuff like that. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, that's dope as hell.
Yeah.
So, what time is it right now? Okay, I think we're almost at an hour, right? Okay.
So like 2 Liquid Penny songs?
That was really quick. I'll ask one more question here. Unless Jaron, do you have anything else?
No, you go for
Okay,
it.
cool. Thanks, bro. So, well, I guess this kind of answers that, but I guess we'll end it on this. Which touring bands would you guys like to play with?
Ooh, King Crimson, Robert Fripp, if you're watching this, I know you just
Bring this
played
out
here,
there.
but please, if you'll play with us, we would be so honored.
I'll send it to him. I'll send this
I
clip.
thought that
to
was
him.
one of your similar
You got
artists on
Fripp on
Spotify.
speed dial?
Yeah,
How did you get
that
that?
was awesome. Yeah, it was.
It probably felt
blown.
good.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I didn't get to see them when they just played Ruth Ecker, and I'm kind of kicking myself for it. But yeah. Oh man, jeez, I'm trying to think like.
Anybody that'll take us.
Right. Yeah.
Not picky.
A dream, like a dream band, you know what I mean? It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be like a super famous band either, but like just like a touring act that you like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who's like touring right now too. I don't know.
I also, if this is our ender question, that's fine, but I also kind of have an ender question for you
Okay.
after this ender question.
I like
Flip the
it.
script.
Yeah, exacthere
Inception.
for.
Oh, would you not say OCs?
That would be rad too. It'd be awesome
Okay.
to play with the
Yeah,
OCs.
Chaz is just
Yeah.
like, dashing around saying the OCs. He's like
Yeah.
trying to find every
Like,
way
we
to
all know
think
it's
of
your
not
favorite
saying the
band.
OCs, but it's
That
the
would be
OCs.
amazing.
We'll say it
Yeah.
for you, Chaz.
I would love to play with them too.
Yeah. But then there's a certain aspect of just getting blown out of the water completely too. But no, it would be
Yeah,
an
you
honor
can't
to
think
play
of
with
that, bro. You guys are great,
Yeah.
bro. Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
they're-
here.
They
that'd be
can't do
rad.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kick you out right now, dude. Get out of here with that
Get the
trash.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, don't say that.
But, yeah, I don't know. There's
don't
a
know, yeah.
hiatus coyote. Be cool to play
Yeah,
with
that'd
those
be
guys.
sick.
That would
They
be
seem
dope.
really
She
cool.
seems enlightened.
All of them kind of
Yeah,
do.
she seems
Yeah,
like-
I feel like they would just be such cool people to hang out with.
Another level.
Thundercat would be
Ooh,
cool.
yes.
Play with him. Yeah. Yeah. There's so much good stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
But Bjork,
Bjork.
I would love to. Yeah, play and hang out with Bjork. That would be incredible.
What about you, Dan?
Deerhoof.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I love Deerhoof. Crumb. I would love to
Crumb
play
would
with
be
Crumb. Wand.
Yeah.
Fucking
Wand is
love
rad.
Wand,
Have you
yeah.
listened to Tori Hanson's
Yes.
solo
It's
album?
fucking cool.
Yeah,
man.
Chaz
so
turned me
cool.
onto it. It's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah, I
The
love those guys.
Pale Horse Rider. That
I
new
saw
one's
them
awesome.
open for Ty Segall when I was out west, and they were so good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super jealous right
It's
now.
keyboards instead of bass, you know.
Oh, for real?
Guitar, keyboards, drums,
Oh.
and
That works though.
oh, just so
Yeah.
good. They played this. I think it was the Great American Music Hall or one of these smaller, like old theaters, and up on the balcony. Yeah, it was just.
That's
killer.
fucking cool.
I would argue there because I saw Ty play a couple times. That particular show, I felt like they were the better band. Like they almost blew him out. Didn't blow him out of the water, but they like opened and were like
They outshined him just ever so
outshined him
slightly.
just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it was just like I don't know if I'd even heard him like hardly at all. But besides like yeah, I think Corey Hansen played on a couple of Ty's albums and like Sleeper and stuff around that time. But yeah, just killer, just and like just great light show, just
Right.
trippy, cool shit. Yeah.
That sounds dope, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
I want to see. I haven't seen any of those bands. I think I'm gonna see Crumb soon, which is pretty sick.
That would be
Are they
really
playing
awesome.
around here?
I
Like
think they're.
southeast somewhere?
Is it Orlando?
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, 3 Points.
Oh, they're
yeah.
playing 3 points. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're
Gotcha.
playing in Orlando too, though. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we're going to 3 Points. Definitely. I want
I
to.
still need to go to that every year. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of like our friends band whatever like bands that we know that are playing in it too. So I'm like, yeah, I want to fucking go and support that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's sick.
Yeah, it seems really cool.
Yeah, but what was that question? You
All
had,
right,
Ron?
script flipper. Yeah, you guys get it. So last time I saw you guys play at the Benz, right before you guys played, you came and tapped like me and Chaz on the shoulder, and you're like, "Oh, we wrote this like Liquid Pennies-esque song,"
Yep.
and you guys played it, and it fucking ripped. And tell me the story of that song,
Yeah,
because that
okay.
was cool as shit.
Well, because like so that kind of goes back to that question I was asking about like where do you pull from?
Yeah.
And in that moment, like I came up with that initial chord progression, and then afterwards I was just like, this sounds like a Liquid Pennies thing.
What would LP do?
Yeah. So
WWLPD.
it turned into that. I was just like, oh, this kind of sounds like a Liquid Pennies thing. So I just thought in that realm of like, I don't know. I just felt like that's something you guys would do, and I just
felt it. Yeah, I was like,
For sure,
all
and it
right,
was
yeah.
funny because maybe because I'm in the
Sick.
rhythm section of the band, but I heard it like in the drums and the bass particularly.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that sounds like something, we
Yeah.
would have locked down.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like
So
you guys
cool.
had some like, not taco beats, but just these like. There's
We
a
call them the
very-
taco beats like taco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. No, yeah,
Like,
it
what
was
the fuck are taco beats?
taco. That's awesome. But yeah, I when I wrote that, I was just like, this is such a like Liquid Pennies thing, and like we have the organ too with kind of like the delay on the high end and stuff, and the only thing that's not like you guys, I feel like, for that one is the fact that I sing in Spanish, but that's about it.
Hey,
That's
That
about
and I
it.
said Chaz needs to get a
can
face.
try.
Inspired. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
It
we
just wouldn't be the same if
No.
I did it. I don't think.
You can't have no Lastin kids singing
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that was it was organic, It was just like that happened. I was like, oh, this sounds like something they do, and then I just kind of I kept doing it, and I was like,
That's
fuck it, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We I feel like that kind of happened with What Fun too. I feel like I saw Glaze play, and I was just like inspired by their like kind of dreamy, like, jazzy, washed out, surfy shit, and like
Love that.
absorbed that somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's cool, especially seeing bands live. It's it really is. If you're in like a creative slump, just to go, like even if you're a writer, just reading other people's books, like just going to see other bands play and feeling that energy and kind of thinking about yourself in that situation, what you would do. I think that is like really it can make something just kind of like flourish really easily and spark something
Hell yeah.
that you didn't really know was there.
That's how my mind works for sure. Like,
Yeah.
if I go see a dope band,
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that just inspired me. Like, I want to fucking. Like,
And that's cool. I love that you all go out to show. I mean, I think that's an important thing too, especially with bands on our level, to be supporting other bands that are out there playing, not just at the shows that you're playing, and it not being like a competitive, like capitalistic dog eat dog, like we're like trying to like one up each other, like have more followers or whatever.
Some
I
nice
think
camaraderie in the
Yeah.
scene.
or just
It's
not
beautiful.
being
Nice on
not
stage
being
and
dicks
seeing
to each
familiar
other.
faces.
Like,
dude, it's like a
Yeah.
family, bro. Like,
It's not about
Yeah.
clout. It's not about clout at all.
no, man.
Yeah,
I feel like we have
without a
something
doubt.
real special, man. Honestly,
mhm.
like I feel like our scene is real special and it's beautiful, and like anytime, like now, whenever I go out, like I usually see someone I know, and it's like awesome. You know what
It
I mean?
is.
It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
what's up, dude?
Not
You
only
know?
in that
Especially
regard,
after
but our
so
scene
long.
is so fucking good. There's
Yeah,
so
there's so many
good
dope bands, yeah.
kicking around
Yeah.
right now. It's
It-
insane.
that doesn't hurt at all.
No shortage
Any-
of good music to catch on
Yeah.
any, passing weekend.
We all just gotta stay and keep it going.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that I kind of thought that we would see maybe a few more bands coming out of this that had kind of like incubated during.
I feel like that emergence has happened.
It's
I feel
happening,
like
bro.
as
It is-
many
I think
bands
it's
as COVID
happening.
killed, I think,
it's
and
still
that many are going to
going
come out
to-
of the woodwork
yeah, I
here
think
soon.
it's just happening a little bit later than it wasn't. I
We're
think
all still
it's
rolling with the punches, figuring things out.
I have a band. I have a new band that we haven't played yet, but it's.
Oh,
gonna-
yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do tell.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's called Blonde Gentleman, and hopefully
They're good.
soon.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
look
Oh,
forward
yeah.
to seeing them live.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
a whole other
Yeah.
sound than House of I.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that happens relatively soon. But yeah, I would say that's that's in that direction of like new shit coming out. You know what I mean? So.
Well, yeah, we're stoked to check you guys out, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. But
yeah, we just want to keep doing shows with y'all too. Like, yeah. Let's keep
Oh, and we will.
doing this,
Trust me.
yeah.
We definitely will. But I guess before we go, do you guys want to plug anything? Your social media, your album, your music?
Liquid Pennies, Google. You can find it all from there.
Oh yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, check us out. We're gonna, be playing some shows this month, and probably get back after recording. So, yeah, we're hoping to put something out before the end of this year. So,
What
Oh,
are your
yeah.
next few shows? Where are they going to be at?
we're playing the Crowbar on this coming Saturday,
Okay.
21st.
21st.
Oh, that's right, for the art walk.
Art Walk.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
And then we're playing the Bends on September 3rd with the Nervous Girls,
Cool.
and Critical Hits, and yeah, and then we've got a few things coming up in November that are still kind of in the works, But
Okay. Well,
yeah,
best of
we're
luck
gonna
with
kind
all
of
that.
lock into recording and trying to like put out this new kind of configuration we have and put that down onto tape and kind of represent this thing that we've been doing the past little bit. So good things to come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Best
yeah.
of luck.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and stay tuned, you motherfuckers. All right.
Tell
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us. Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
All right.
Let's hit a show from here.
Peace.